Hi, welcome back to another video, probably the most anticipated for the handful of people that have been watching this Walter Scott Prize journey with me. This is my prediction and reaction video to the shortlist. So it's Wednesday. I believe the shortlist was announced yesterday. I have stayed off both Twitter and Instagram, the accounts I follow the Walter Scott Prize. So I have not seen any spoilers. I finished A Sign of Her Own. I know I said I was going to do a reaction to that as well in this video, but I only thought it fair that I've given the other 10 books I've read so far their own video and my own thoughts in their own video. So I'm going to do that as well. I've already filmed it. I've just filmed it because I couldn't wait to talk about it. I'm going to upload that later on, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, and I'll do the same for The Land in Winter as well. So each book from the long list has its own video, but this is my prediction and reaction video. So if you saw my posts I put up on Monday, when I found out the shortlist was going to be announced yesterday, I put up two quick posts on YouTube just to give an inkling of what my thoughts might be, my personal top six and what I think will be the shortlist. So my personal top six has changed just a bit, only slightly though. So the first book, if I was picking the shortlist and only me, of what I really enjoyed and not really much other criteria. So first book, I think will be no surprise. Mother Naked, absolutely loved it. It's my second favourite out of the whole six, I think. I'm still not quite sure on rankings for this top six. They're all brilliant. I probably will do a ranking of the shortlist nearer the time when they're announcing the winner. I think that's June time. But for now, this top six is very interchangeable. So I'm just announcing them in the order I read them. So second up, I would pick Clear by Karis Davis. It's short, sweet. I really love the story. Yeah, it's brilliant. Loved it. Next up, it was my favourite for a while after I read it. And that's A Safe Keep by Yael van der Woude. It's literary to an extent, but it's still very accessible with a really interesting sort of mysterious storyline. I love the LGBT stuff, you know that as well, but I think that was really clever writing. Really, yeah, it made me feel clever reading it, but I really enjoyed the story to it as well. And then along came my favourite, absolutely, The First Friend by Malcolm Knox is still, I would say, it's probably my favourite. It's just got everything. It's got some really funny, dark writing, but a really great story to it as well. As I said, it's humorous, it's dark, and it's a bit long, but I enjoyed every moment of it. I thought it was really unique and sort of inventive. Yeah, loved it. So next up on my top six would be Glorious Exploits by Ferdia Lennon. It's just one of those books that it's an absolute joy to read. Yes, it's, not got loads of long, lovely words and descriptive prose, but it's such a fun story to follow along. Yeah, really enjoyable. And then lastly, I would pick A Sign of Her Own by Sarah Marsh. Watch my video on it, I'll upload it tomorrow. I just really enjoyed it. It's such a well thought out story that's, so much attention to detail, which would only come from the author and the author's own experience growing up deaf. It's just brilliant. So that is my own personal top six. So if it was just me picking, no one else, they are the six books that I would choose. But I appreciate the judges for the shortlist have a bit of a list of criteria. I believe it's, the standard of the writing, quality of the writing, as well as inventiveness, uniqueness as well. So I'm taking off my personal bias, putting on my judging hat, and I'm going to try and pick six that I think may make the shortlist. Disclaimer, I haven't read The Land in Winter yet, so I'm not going to include it. And that doesn't mean that it's not worthy of it, because I haven't read it. So it may very well be on the shortlist. I don't know. But here is what I think could make the shortlist. So what I think could make the shortlist, I'm going to start with what I am pretty certain of. Pretty certain being what I think should definitely make it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know, I don't pretend to be any expert knowledge of literature, but my top favourite has to, you know, definitely for me should make the shortlist. There's no doubt about that. I think The First Friend should be on there. As well as The Safekeep, I definitely think that should be on the shortlist as well. I think, if I'm guessing, this is the most confident guess that I have making the shortlist. Then it gets a bit more difficult. I do think Clear should make it, by Karis Davis. I just think it's really unique, well written, some nice fancy writing. Yeah, it's an all-rounder sort of thing. Annoyingly, I'm not going to include Mother Naked or Glorious Exploits because of last year, two of my favourites, Cuddy and For Thy Great Pain. They were very unique in their writing style and the presentation of prose, and they didn't make the shortlist. And I think Mother Naked especially is so unique in the way it's written, that maybe it's just going to miss out. I'd be so happy if I'm wrong, but yeah, I've left it off my prediction. Next up, I'm going to say A Sign of Her Own by Sarah Marsh. And this is where it does get difficult. I do think The Catchers by Zan Brooks, it was on my top 6 and A Sign of Her Own just nudged it out. But I still think it's a really unique story. I really enjoyed it. Some great writing as well. So that could be there. And my last choice, to be fair, this could be interchanged with The Mayor, but I picked The Book of Days. As I said, it could be that, it could be The Mayor. But I just had to pick one, and I think I enjoyed this a bit more than I did The Mayor, although I enjoyed both quite a bit. However, if I'm going off last year's prize, there was two that I really liked, two that I liked, and two that I didn't get on with so well. So if I were to do it in that sort of way of thinking, I'd have probably The First Friend, The Safekeep, Sign of Her Own, Clear, and then probably something like The Heart in Winter and Munich. But we'll see. So now I'm going to look online and check out the shortlist. Okay, so I have my trusty iPad and I'm going to Google Walter Scott Prize, and this is a genuine reaction to the shortlist. I can't believe I have managed to avoid any spoilers. So let's go. Walter Scott Prize for historical fiction, blah blah blah. 2025 prize. Oh no, I've just seen a picture. I think what I just said the last thing I just said might have come true. So that's the timetable. I don't want the timetable. Where's the shortlist? That's the long list. See, this is all live. This is all live. Oh no, that's the long list. I'm gonna have to go and pick. Did they announce it yesterday? It'd be really embarrassing if they didn't now. I'm gonna have to go on social media, aren't I? Why is it not news? It's on the news. Shortlist announced. Ah, here we go. The Heart in Winter. What did I say? Okay, next one. I'm scrolling up slowly, so it's right at the bottom. I can see there's a picture there. The Mayor, okay, by Angry Hampshire. I can see why. I said that was interchangeable for me with the Book of Days. The Book of Days, okay. Okay, this is meaning that some of the ones I really like are not in the shortlist. Glorious Exploits, okay, great. That's a big surprise, but in a great way. I'm quite happy about that. It's nice to have something a bit different because you've got quite a lot of serious literary stories going on, so it's nice to break that up, but there's not much room for The Safekeep and The First Friend. I'm going to be gutted if both of them don't make it, to be honest. The Land in Winter, okay, I can't comment on that because I haven't read it. I'm going to read it. Hopefully it's pretty decent. And The Safekeep, okay, that was always going to make it, I guess. Okay, so looking at that, how many did I guess right? Not very many. Book of Days and The Safekeep. 2. That's shocking, isn't it? But in my own personal top 6, 2. But if you listen to what I said about 2 that I really like, 2 that I liked, and 2 that I didn't like, you know, you've got The Heart in Winter there. Yeah, Safekeep I really liked. The Land in Winter must be pretty good. So, but yeah, I'm happy to see Glorious Exploits there. I'm really gutted about The First Friend. I'm not sure if that's got anything to do with being released in Australia only at the moment. I literally had to buy it from the Australian publisher and have it sent over. But I can't see why that would make a difference. But I just thought it was really good. I really don't understand it. I thought it was brilliant. Okay. But out of that list, you know, I would say The Safekeep's winning. But anyway, I'll do a different video for the shortlist. I'll go through and do a shortlist video nearer the time. I'm still a bit in shock, to be honest. Yeah, and Clear as well. Clear's not there. Gutted for Clear. The First Friend. Oh my god, I'm just looking at the books on the far. I can't. Yeah, Catches as well. I thought was a really great story. Obviously, the judging panel preferred a bit more literary this year, I guess. Who knows? Anyway, that is my prediction reaction video. What do you think of the shortlist? Let me know in the comments. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Bye.